Good morning, everyone. Today, again, I will teach you Python programming and we'll start with the dictionary. I think dictionary was completed in my previous class. I have taught the different definitions of dictionary, how to define a dictionary and how to access different elements of dictionary. In today's class, I will take one more example of dictionary and then I will go for the new chapter, that is chapter number 3, working with functions. So for that purpose, I am sharing a screen for you. Here, the screen is shared for you. And now I'll open Python for the programming. Python ideally 3.8. Okay. Now Python is started here. So I'll start with the dictionary program. Like 1D dictionary you have already done. So I will start today with the 2D dictionary, a small program I have made just now, and I will show it to you. See here, D is equals to std name. To different students name you can give. Suppose here you can give Nitin. Here you can give Rajesh. Here you can give UV. Then different marks you can give. Same you can want to keep. You can keep same marks. Or you want to give different marks, you can give different marks, your wish. This you give as 89, 87. One more field if you want to add it here, suppose class, you can add that also, class. And then you give either the same class or the different class you want. I'll give 12th, and then I'll give here 11th, and one as again I will give 12th. You can give 10th also if you want. So different names for the class you can give. Okay. So here what we are doing, just see here. We are making dictionary D, and then what we are doing here, we are taking a key, and that key is having a list of values, that is Nitin, Rajesh, Yuvi. Marks is again a key, and 3 different values and so on. So if you print it, print D, just now I'll hold this and run it. So what happens? You will get the result as STD name, Nitin, Rajesh, UV, marks, and so on. Got it? Now, if you want to STD name also, student name also, if you want to keep in capsule, you can write. But if you want to display value by generating loop and accessing each element, if I write for I in D and print I, so it will display, as you know, all the keys. That is STD name, marks, and class. Run. Okay. Now see the effect here. Firstly, it was showing STD name or something, and then it is now showing only STD name, marks, and class. Now with STD name, if you want to display different names, you can do that. How to write this? We'll write, okay, we'll take the key also. And then if you want to write colon in between, and then you want to write here P of I and run it. Now see the effect of it. STD name key आ गया and इसकी values Nitin, Rajesh, UV. STD that is marks is given here 99, 77, 87 and class 12th, 11, 12th is there. Okay. Now if anyone wants to give only P of not I, rather D of 0. Let's see what happens here. Run. Okay. First showing error. Try नहीं करते. We'll keep to D of I. And in that, if I give So leave this part here. We'll take d of I. Okay, and execute. You will get the result. Hopefully this point is clear to you. STD name and marks and class. Okay. So this type of example also you keep ready, where you can define a field or key and then you can give different values in a list, square bracket. Same way class you. Hopefully clear. Now we will come to the next part. In case it's going out of stream, you know that what we will do, we'll type slash n1. So now everything is coming onto this. Previous screen को बंद कर देते हैं. And run it again. So dictionary part is over. I'll go for the new point. New STD name marks also. Okay. If you delete this, तो जो ऊपर वाला आ रहा था result वो भी नहीं आएगा. Done. Now I'll come to the next chapter, that is chapter number 3, and I'll start chapter number 3. So for that, you first write definition, chapter number 3, working with function. The chapter name is working with functions. Chapter name is working with function. Note it down. Before we'll start function, we should know the definition of function and types of functions, etc. So a function is a subprogram that act on data and often returns a value. A function is a subprogram that acts on data and often returns a value. It works as a complete unit. It works as a complete unit, and it can be called or invoked by its name. It works as a complete unit, and it can be called or invoked by its name. Next, you write it here. Python function types. Python function types. There are 3 categories of functions in Python. Number 1, built-in functions. Built-in functions. These are predefined functions and are always available for use. These are predefined functions and are always predefined function and are always available for use. Example, you write len type int input. Second is your, so in programming you use length int etc. So for that you don't import any file also or library, and simply or module you can say, and directly you use. So next is your functions defined in modules. This is the second part. Functions defined in modules. These functions are predefined in particular modules and can only be used when the corresponding module is imported. For example, to use mathematical functions, we call या we import math module such as the function of math modules are sqrt, square root, POW power, sine, cos, etc. sin, cos, etc. And the third one is user defined function. These are defined by the programmer As a programmer, we can create our own functions. We must follow some protocols or set of rules. Now, I will come to because see, these two are the first one is built-in function, a function defined in modules. So I'm coming directly to the user dev. First, you should know how to create your own function, and then I will define also how to create your own module. Okay, so we'll start with user defined function. Okay, so it has user defined function has following parts. Number one, function header. Please note down all these definitions. Function header. The first line of function definition, that begins with keyword def and ends with colon by specifying the name of the function and its parameter if required. Parameter के साथ लिखेंगे if required. Parameter is not compulsory, but def is compulsory part, function name is compulsory part, and colon is compulsory part. Parameters will come now. Variables that are listed within the parenthesis, that is round brackets. Variables that are listed within the parenthesis or round bracket of a function header, also known as arguments, It is basically used when we pass some values to function. I will explain everything in programming, and I will explain you that parameter where we are defining and then what values we are passing. Everything I will explain. First you write definitions, then we'll go. This is a new chapter, not in 11th class, 12th class. Function body. It is the block of statements, or you can say indented statements. Which is defined after the function name or beneath the function name. These statements are the action statements, that is the work performed by the functions by these statements. Okay. One more point you write indentation. As we know in Python, statement has to be properly indented. Same as with function. When we define a statement in function body, it has to be properly indented. So this much definition we have done. Now I will write a very small program for you to explain what is function. So I'll start with a new program. Okay. This window I will close and I will keep only this window. I'll start with a new program, new file. And previous, if you want to close, you can. So file here, and then I write it here a program for you. That is the first program of function. So what I will do here, the first keyword I will use, that is the keyword def. Or function name I am writing here, my function name. Okay, my fun name. You can, it should be a user defined name, should be an identifier that you must remember. Function ke saath you have to write round brackets. So round bracket is given here. And then I am writing just a simple statement, print my first function. Okay. Just very simple program. So function is completed now. If you want to write some more statement, you can write it here. I'm just closing this. Now save this program. So I save, or you just go to the run only, it will save program. Okay, must save your program. And the name I am giving for the file is function1, that is F, and save. So what I will do, the program is saved. Now the point which I will explain you here, just remember that whole lifetime. The point which I am explaining you here now, just remember for your whole life. If you are doing programming for the function, that you must remember. So first and foremost thing which I have done here, I have defined a function. I will execute this run. So it is executing and no result is coming. Now, what is the reason behind it? We have defined the function and we have given an output statement also, but still it is not showing any result. The simple reason behind is the name of the function you have defined, body also you have defined, you have written print statement also, and still you are not getting result. The reason is very simple. There's two things, remember. One is defining a function and the second is calling a function. When you define a function, that time you have to write def function name and you have to write the body of the function, everything. But once you are running, executing or calling or invoking, all this word I'm using. When you are running, invoking, executing, calling a function, that time you have to just write the function name, that is my fun. The name of the function. If parameters are there, that I will talk later, with just now I will not talk. I'm not explaining that. So just I'm explaining this part. If I have defined a function with the name myfun and I want to run this function, after defining the function, we have to call that function. And how to call or invoke the function or run function? Just by typing the function name and round bracket. Now you run it, and that should start from the first column. So run it here. Okay. So what result you are getting here? My first function. Understood or not? So two things are there for functions. One is defining a function, and second is most of the student gets confused here. What is the meaning of defining and calling? Very simple. जैसा प्रोग्राम आप पहले लिखते थे, same way you have to write the program. That's the defining a function. But once the function is defined by a name such as myfun, you have to call that function to execute, to run. And the name of the function is myfun. So I have written myfun. Round begin start close for the function we have to write. I have written, and then it is. अब यहाँ पर जो myfun है बेटा, this is your main function. In Python, there is no so-called main function. But from first column, when we write something, it is considered as main function. And remember, and execution starts from main function only. These are the very basic points. तो ये main function है. अब जो मैं यहाँ लिख रहा हूँ main, इसका मतलब ये कोई main नहीं है. This is simply a remark. But just to define the main starts from here, I am giving a remark hash main hash. Hash stands for comment. Suppose I am writing here print. Welcome to Sir Raza's classes. Sir Raza classes. This statement I am writing. Now see what is the sequence of execution. I told you programming or execution starts from main. That means first this line will start, even we have written the function before that. Okay, so run it, you get the result. So once I am running it, says there is error because we have given one single quotes, double quotes, run. Okay, so just see here. Pehle welcome to Sir Raza classes has come, and then my first function appeared here. Got it? Understood? Okay. So remember, this is the main part always. Ab agar maan lijiye someone has written here, acha, in programming, computer programming, you can call any function any number of times. So I have written here myfun. So myfun will execute first now. That is first time likha hua aega my first function. Then print welcome to Sir Raza's classes, and then myfun. That means again my first function will come. So I will show you the result again. Just compare all these results. So my first function has come because in the main, my function is called first. After that, a print statement is written. Welcome to Sir Raza's classes. So Sir Raza classes has come, and then myfun. That is my first function. Got it? So I'm just I'm finishing class here only. We'll meet in the next class. Just learn all this concept so that I will go further ahead. I have to write a lot of programs in function. In fact, in 12th class, the programming will come in the form of functions only. Okay, so learn well. Take care of yourself. Bye.